Hello. I think I'm live. Welcome. I'm just like sitting here waiting for the usual countdown, but Facebook of course has changed the way that I stream here live from today. So I think this is working, but welcome. Sorry for the stunned mullet. I was waiting for things to start. But welcome. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. You'll also find me as Temple of Balance on Instagram. So I'm here to pull some cards for this week. That's this week starting Monday the 20th of December through to Sunday the 26th of December. So we're preparing now to wind up the year, and we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in the next weekly guidance when we wind the year up. But who knows, we might even talk about it this week. Who knows what's going to come up in the cards? I don't know at this point. So while you're coming in, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I look forward to connecting with those of you who are active members and patrons on Wednesday for our online solstice gathering on Zoom. We do it every solstice. And this solstice, so this Wednesday, maybe Tuesday your time, we'll be doing an online meditation circle. So that's included in the membership, which is just $10 a month. So check it out if you're interested. But welcome, we are here to pull some cards for this week. Before I pull the cards, I want to do a shout out. So I'm going to say hello to you in the comments. While you're writing your comments, your hellos, or whatever you're going to do, if you want to, while you're doing that, what am I going to say? I don't know. Let's just say hello in the comments, then we can get started. Good morning, Belinda and Carolyn. Welcome. Hello, John and Glenda. Patricia's here from England. It's midnight. Alicia, good morning. And hi, Joanne and Kel's from New Zealand. John says, what do you guys do? Lots of stuff. Too much to explain right now. Lorraine, welcome. And Carol, Bettina, good morning. Denise just read the current energy report. I'm glad you resonated. Thank you so much. Hi, Robin and Clara. Sarah and Patricia's here. Good morning, Linda. It's lovely to see you too. And we have Peggy here from Canada. Sarah's here from Utah, and another Sarah, is here from Mexico. Welcome. Laurie's here from California, and Jennifer's here from Indiana. Welcome to you guys. Hi, Linda and Sharon and Serene. Oh, I'm so pleased you like using my cards. Thank you. Loran, I don't know how to pronounce your name there, Loran, but I'm so pleased you like my readings. Thank you. Hi, Lee and Patricia from Ontario. Judith is here. Sam's here. Welcome. Selena's from Florida. We've got TC from, I don't know where TC's from, but welcome. Mercer is here. And Gail is here from Arizona. Welcome, Gail. Welcome, everybody. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it's blowing a gale, literally, which is why I'm inside and why I look a bit windblown, because it's blowing madly outside. So we're having lots of winds. Where it is Monday the 20th of December here, and it's exactly 11:03 a.m. So for those of you who are new to watching, welcome. Please let us know if you're new so we can welcome you. What I'll be doing today is using my combined cards. These are cards I made, Speed of Light Oracle, that have been mixed with the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards to make a 110 card deck. And I'll be using this combined deck to find the best cards for this week. I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared will support you at this time. So what I recommend is that you take on board or think further about what resonates with you and what fits into your life easily at this time. Anything that doesn't resonate or doesn't fit in, you don't need to force it. It will either resonate or it won't. Just let that other stuff go, because it's likely a message for somebody else. Take on board what does resonate, and also think of this as a guide only. It's just a guide. It's just a bit of fun. If something's helpful for you, then that's great. That's a bonus. And if not, then I trust that it is you feel good from being here, let's say. I'm not doing personal readings for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust 100% that you've been led here for a reason, and that I'm here at the right time, connecting in this perfect moment. So, shuffling the cards. Before I pull the cards, I just want to reflect on last week's theme, which was the stag. It was the sad stag, I call him. He highlights this sense of feeling discouraged or feeling like we're off our path, but it actually shows, in truth, that we're not. So there's been probably for some of us a mental struggle or a mental maybe distraction that has pulled us off our path in this last week or so, that we have been probably trying to get back in these last couple of days. It's been a little tricky to stay focused and stay really attentive to things and be super productive like we may have been, you know, throughout last week or in weeks previous. So that's the energy that was our theme last week. But we're in a new week now, so let's pull some cards for this week. Good morning, everybody. So the best cards for this week for the majority of us, starting Monday the 20th through to Sunday the 26th of December 2021. Okay, the best cards for this week are these. Excuse me, and I'm going to lay them out face down here beside me. I'll just pull my chair over a bit, and I'm just laying them face down, and then I'll turn them over in just a moment. So, just got a courier here. I wonder if he's coming here. No. Okay, let's turn the cards over. Okay. Okay, we have one featured card, which is a featured timing card. It's Lunar Cycle. And it says here to pull the second card from the top of the deck. So I go back to my deck and I'm just going to go down. I'm going to ignore card 1, go down to card 2. Actually, maybe we're not ignoring card 1 because this is the solar cycle, which says to take the top card from the deck. So I'll put that with the moon. We'll grab the actual top card. It's the dolphin. All right, we'll come back to those 3 cards a little later. So let's start. Beginning of the week, we have the elephant, card 7, and it says here family commitments. So this is highlighting, especially at the beginning of the week, our connections or our resonance or whatever we might be organising that's connected with our family or our bloodline or people that we class as family. So there is this feeling here of gathering, coming together with family or people of like mind, people we consider family. It may be one person that you consider family. It may be 4 or 5 people. It may be 20 or 30 people. It doesn't matter how many people are in this group or this gathering, but these are people that, or a person that feels like family to us. And there is something very important about this connection early in the week. I feel the energy gathering. So there's an energy coming in, gathering around us, maybe gathering around weaker kind of people or people in our family who are not in a good state right now, that people might be gathering around the sort of weaker or wounded or struggling family member or person in that group that may need some love and support around. So there's a feeling here that the strong ones are coming in and gathering around the weak one or the weak ones in the family. So if you feel like you're the sort of weak one or you're the struggling one right now, have you been reaching out to your family and those people close to you to let them know how you feel and let them know that you're struggling so they can gather around you and support you and be there for you when you need it? Maybe on the other hand, there is someone in your company, in your friendship or family group that is in a weakened state, and maybe you're being called to action to come in and gather around. So there is a feeling of gathering, coming in, the strong ones coming in to support the weaker ones in that sort of situation. This feels to be important for support is the feeling that I have. So that's what I'm feeling from the elephant today. I'm going to sneeze. maybe. Maybe I'm going to sneeze, maybe I'm not. Okay, I'm not right now. Tuesday the 21st of December. We have the rabbit, card 16. And the rabbit says to make your move. To make your move. So we've been encouraged to make our move, take action on something on Tuesday that we've perhaps been feeling scared about, because there is a feeling here with the rabbit. It feels a bit petrified. You know, when the rabbit sort of freezes, it's petrified, and then it's, I guess, in its little head, it's thinking, should I freeze or should I run or bolt? So there is this sort of paralyzed with fear feeling with this card too. So it may be something that we've been scared about, that we've been encouraged, or the day is favourable, especially around Tuesday, for us to feel the fear and make our move. So to do like the rabbit would do, sort of freeze, petrify, and then bolt. And so there is and it's not necessarily that we're running away from something like we might think with a rabbit. We might be running towards something. We might need to consider, or find it favourable on Tuesday to consider making our move. So what have you been sitting on? What have you been, it almost, it feels like, what have we been nesting on? What have we been sitting on in the last days or weeks that is brewing, you know, like we're sitting on an egg waiting for it to hatch. You know, what's been brewing within us? What's been brewing in our life, or in our thoughts, or in our conversations? And maybe we've been kind of eager on some level to make our move, but maybe scared on another level. So there is a feeling on Tuesday that it is favourable to make our move. So we might feel fear, we might feel scared, but there is something that's probably going to prompt us into action. So how long are we going to sit on this? How long are we going to sit in that space of fear or uncertainty of the unknown, or agitation about what might happen? So we may, for some of us, want to just sort of wake up, get up, stand up from what we've been sitting on and make our move and find the path that is there for us. So making our move. So this is action day, Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we've got two cards here for Wednesday. So we'll start with the Echidna, card 19. The Echidna says, don't dwell on the details. This may be connected with this situation that the rabbit highlights. If we dwell on the fear, if we dwell on the unknown, we dwell on the what ifs or the nitty-gritty details, then we may stop ourselves. You know, the thing that comes to mind is when I went to donate blood once for the first and only time years ago. I've got this, I don't like needles, I'm sure not many people do, but I've got this thing about needles since I was a child. And but I've got O negative blood, so I've got a blood type that's in high demand. And so I'm like, okay, I'll go and donate blood. I'll try not to think about it. I mean, this was like 20 years ago. It was a long time. So I go into the donor place. I'm filling out the forms, and then I start making all sorts of excuses. I start making so many excuses that, for me, looking back even the next day, were just ridiculous. And I bolted, I ran, I never even donated blood. So I think sometimes we sort of, like, I made my move even though I felt scared, but then I focused on the nitty-gritty details, the fear took over, and off I bolted away from there. Instead of having the courage to move through it, not focus on the nitty-gritty details, and focus on the bigger picture, or where I was going and how helpful my blood could have been to someone, instead of me trying to talk my way out of something that I volunteered to go to anyway. You know, it's ridiculous, but that's how I felt at the time. So this is the sort of situation that's coming to mind as I think of these two cards together. So especially on Wednesday, and that's the 22nd, let's consider keeping on going, so not giving up, but also being aware if we start trying to talk ourselves out of something that we know is the right thing to do, or is the good thing to do, or is feels right to do at the time, even if we feel scared. So not giving up, but also being careful that we don't focus too much on the nitty-gritty details that are not important in the big scheme of things. Also connected with Wednesday is the Cockatoo. The Cockatoo's card 47, and it reminds us to be compromising. So there might be a situation on Wednesday where we need to settle a disagreement or find a compromise in a situation that may have at least one other side to it, or one other perspective that may clash, is the feeling. So there is a feeling here that we might need to find a compromise in a group situation or a paired, partnered situation that may stir different things up for people involved or for us involved, that we might need to, have a conversation and see if we can agree to disagree. So this feels strong for Wednesday. This card too, the Cockatoo, highlights social energy and communication. So this is probably going to be important too. So any social gatherings, and we're having our online solstice gathering on Wednesday actually. So that gathering too is going to be happening, which is exciting, and lots of communication potentially for Wednesday. Now something shifts from here because it feels like there's a notch that's turned, or a wheel that shifts from Wednesday to Thursday. So we're looking the 22nd to around the 23rd, that there's something that turns, something that shifts. It may be a turning point. It may be a shift of perspective or perception. Something changes, something alters. And it could even be, finding the compromise changes something. Not focusing on the nitty-gritty details, the details that aren't important. Some details are important, and I'm not talking about those. But the details and the things we might be fanatical about that are not truly important to the situation. Putting those aside and focusing on the journey, focusing on the bigger picture, or this sort of thing. It feels like something happening Wednesday shifts us. So there's a change of some sort. Something turns, something shifts. And on Thursday, the 23rd, we have the Stallion, card 1. So cards 1s tend to talk about new beginnings. So this is a new energy that wants to come in. And the Stallion reminds us to untie ourselves. And I find this card so very motivating. There's a lot of movement already in these cards. The elephant's moving, the rabbit is making our move, the echidna is wanting us to focus on the long distance journey instead of the nitty-gritty stuff ahead. There's a lot of activity with the cockatoos as well. And the Stallion, this is full on, galloping, running, wild and free. So there's a lot of movement, a lot of things happening, a lot of wind blowing through in our lives as well, probably weather-wise, through this first half of the week. So the Stallion is about untying ourselves and setting our wild spirit free. So this is very much about perhaps looking at or exploring or noticing where we feel tied down or tamed, or where we're feeling contained and constricted within ourselves and our life. There may be external situations that are constricting us or taming us, or trying to keep us tame and conforming, if you like. There might most likely are parts of ourselves that are keeping us tamed and small and restricted and limited. Our own thoughts, our own beliefs, our own attitude, our own behaviour can also help keep us trapped in a tame or unwanted situation. So there is this sense here that as part of the turning of something turning, a turning point, a shift in something that happens between Wednesday and Thursday, there is this likely awakened feeling that is awakening to the truth that we have been feeling confined or constricted or tamed or limited or held back, or our arms tied back, or that we feel chained down or locked away in a cupboard, hiding away, whatever. I'm just throwing out a few different angles of this because there's probably one that might speak to you. So we might find that something awakens within us on Thursday where we have this urge. It feels like an awakening, like a big eye opening in our heart, where we see something from a heart perspective that then potentially entices us or motivates us to free our wild spirit. That wild spirit, that wild free spirit we had, maybe as a teenager, maybe as a child, maybe in our 20s, maybe we glimpsed it for a short period in our life. That wild side, that wild free part of ourselves that is our untamed wildness, our wild essence, wants to somehow be untamed, on Thursday. So we might find it just this sort of motivation or this urge to do something a bit crazy that's a bit sort of out of character for us. This could be part of that sort of activation. But it feels like an awakening that's happening from the heart. So lots of movement, lots of motivation with this energy too, with the Stallion. Okay, then we move to Friday. And we have our 3 cards here. So this is Friday the 24th. And we have these 3 cards have come up for Friday. We haven't seen a featured timing card for a while, at least a few weeks. I think we had the Stellar Cycle then. There are only 4 featured timing cards in the 110 card deck, and we've just pulled 2 of them. And so they've come up together for a reason. So we've got Lunar Cycle, which talks about 1 month. We've got Solar Cycle that talks about 1 day. And we've got the Dolphin that says that it's a time to celebrate. So let's back up so we're not overwhelmed by all these 3 cards and what they mean together. Let's look at them separately first. So we've got Lunar Cycle. This talks about, obviously, the energy of the moon. It talks about, because it's a timing card, it talks about a 1-month cycle. So we're looking then 1 month from around the 24th of December to the 24th of January 2022 is significant. So something happening on Friday that we're likely going to be thinking about, planning, organising. Maybe we're about to take a month off, or the most part of a month. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 5 weeks, but about a month. Maybe there's something that's shifting around this week and the end of this week that encompasses a couple of weeks or a month for the most part. But there is something significant about this next month that's coming up for Friday. And this card on its own talks about 1 day, the significance of 1 day. Now, often this card comes up when we're being encouraged to consider 1 day at a time, so not to get too far ahead of ourselves. So, for example, if we're about to take a month off, or thereabouts a month off, you know, we might find ourselves the first week in worried that we're about to go back to work or whatever, in 3 or whatever weeks' time. But what we're being encouraged to remember is to focus on 1 day at a time and enjoy the 1 day at a time that's contained within that month period, if you like. So let's break it down to the 1 month. But that's sort of those cards together. But let's look and add this one in. On its own, this is card 6, the Dolphin, and it says it's time to celebrate. It's breaching the waters of whatever we're breaching through. So something to celebrate, something to appreciate. It's the fireworks going off. There's a simplicity too about the energy of this card. It doesn't feel complicated. It might be the celebration of a birthday, an anniversary, the end of a great year, or the end of a year in general. There's just something to celebrate, especially around the 24th of December. So if you've got something happening on that day, then great. This is a day to celebrate, especially the 24th or around that time period. But adding this month into it feels to me like it's encouraging us to carry these celebrations over further than just 1 day. You know, obviously it's not going to feel the same, but can we keep celebrating or appreciating, which is the same kind of thing? Can we keep appreciating all of our days that we have, especially for the next month, as we move from December to January, as we move from 2021 to 2022, as we do go through whatever personal transitions we're experiencing in our life. So there is something significant here. It may not even be evident yet on the Monday that I'm recording this, but it may become more evident later in the week. You know, what is this monthish cycle? How can we appreciate each day, and especially, you know, celebration, but appreciate. What is there to appreciate about waking up today, about what we're experiencing now? How grateful can you feel about what you do have? Sometimes we spend too much time focusing on what's missing or what's not there, or what other people have that we don't. So there is this feeling of a genuine, or getting into a daily gratitude may also be helpful for that month to shift things around for us as we move into a new year. A lot of people have had a pretty crappy year this year, or a crappy couple of years. So there might be, something that shifts for us later this week where we can maybe start a 1 month, 30-day dedication of practicing gratitude, for example, every day. So you might have a journal or something, and every day you just spend 5 minutes writing what or who you're grateful for on that day, and hold that gratitude in your heart as you then, the next day, practice that gratitude again. Because that 30 days, that month-long period, is a great focus to dedicate on shifting our attitude, shifting our thought patterns too, our negative thought patterns. So that may be something for some of us to think about, that some of us may resonate with. Okay, 25th of December, that's Saturday, we have the Doe, card 41. And the Doe says to feel deeply. So it's bringing a sensitivity potentially for Saturday. We've been encouraged to pay attention. The Doe here has big ears, which makes me feel like paying attention and really listening on Saturday might be really important. But there is a sensitivity that we might be feeling. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels quite light. So it might be an appreciation. I don't know if anyone else feels this sometimes. Actually, I feel it a lot, where I feel so grateful that it brings me to tears. And I'm in such a deep place of feeling with my appreciation that I feel it very deeply. But I'm a very sensitive person too. So you might feel so grateful and so in connection, or so aligned with things that you just feel deeply touched by things on Saturday. You might feel a bit unstable emotionally. There is a bit of that going around too, a bit of raw emotion. So whatever it is that you feel, especially on Saturday, but at any time, you've been encouraged to listen to it. Pay attention to what you're feeling and flow with it. Because remember, feelings want to move. They are emotions in motion. So let's keep feeling our way through. Let's listen to our feelings so they can flow through. Because if we ignore them, or we don't want to be feeling that feeling, then we block the flow of the feeling. So let's sit in the feeling and flow with it. But it might be a sensitive day on Saturday, or part of. Sunday the 26th of December, we have card 47, persistence. It says patience, solution, question, answer, and night. So we've been encouraged, especially on Sunday, to not give up, to be patient, to be persistent. Now is not the time to give up, but the time to keep going. So there may be a little setback, or there may be a flat feeling with something we may have been feeling motivated about, that feels a bit flat, or we don't feel motivated, or things have changed, we don't feel the same way. It doesn't necessarily mean we give up on it. Sometimes it might. But this card coming up is very much about not giving up. Be patient, be persistent. A solution is coming. So keep your dreams alive. Keep whatever it is you feel in your heart alive, even if it wanes in motivation or interest at different times. So that's Sunday, patience and persistence. So thank you so much. I'm going to pull a card as the theme in a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video and this connection, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So this week on Wednesday, we have our twice annually solstice online gathering. This is like a special event for my Pillar of Light members and my patrons. So if you're an active Pillar of Light member, or if you're an active patron now or in the next couple of days, then you should already have your email. But if you're a new person, I'll send it to you to invite you to our solstice gathering. It's on Zoom. It will go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it's this time we're doing an online meditation circle. So I look forward to guiding you with that. For those of you that can join in, it won't be recorded. It's only for people who can attend live. So hopefully the time and day suits you if you're coming. If you would love to become a member, a Pillar of Light member or a Patreon, that's probably the best way that you can connect with my work. If you resonate with my way and my approach and what I have to say and my perspective, then you might find my Pillar of Light membership, my Patreon resources really helpful and supportive. They're really reasonably priced. Like my Pillar of Light membership is $10 a month, which is about 15 Australian dollars a month, which is really cheap. And there's daily support. I send out current energy reports. We have events like this, discounts for healing events, a monthly healing event, lots of stuff. And if you want to connect one-on-one, I've got video connections. We've got monthly readings, personal meditations on Patreon too. So please check it out if you're interested, or anything on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. Okay guys, let's see what the theme is for this week. The theme will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for this week, the 20th till the 26th of December. What do we need to know for this week? So the best card for the theme, for the bigger picture for this week ahead is this here. It's a Speed of Light Oracle. It doesn't matter if it's upside down, but it's this. It's love. It's love this week. Twin Flame. Card 39 is Twin Flame, and it says union, love, togetherness, equal, and effort. This card did come up last week, not as the theme, but it's about seeing eye to eye with someone. So it could be a couple of people, it could be one particular person. So there is this feeling of being on the same page with people in general this week. There may be some discordance that happens, there's compromises that we might need to find midweek, but in general we might find we're on the same page, on the same wavelength, and really seeing eye to eye as equals with people in general that we connect with this week. So that's a really nice thing, to feel that we belong, that we're in this together, you know, in a real sense, not just saying it. There is also highlight around relationships being of importance. So this could be your closest relationship, your lover, your partner, your husband, your wife, this sort of connection. It could be child, parent, as someone who you feel a close bond with. There is this great energy, this synergy, it feels like, of melding and merging and union this week. But for some of us, it's going to require effort. Good relationships that last long term, and I'm talking here lover, husband, wife, partner, they all require effort. All long-standing relationships require effort. So we might find this week at some point that some of our relationships, including our relationship with ourselves, require some effort. Effort in communicating, effort in honestly communicating, if that's what we need to do, you know, depending on the situation. Effort in reaching out, in connecting with family members we may not have seen for a while. You know, instead of sitting back complaining that people aren't connecting with us, let's make an effort and reach out to them. So, you know, there is an effort required, but this great sense of synergy between us and others in general this week, especially people that we're close to, people that are important to us. There are people that are important to us, and there are people that just simply are not important to us, that we don't resonate with, and this is okay. So let's nurture the ones that we do resonate with, the ones that are important to us, and we might find that we don't care much about the ones that aren't important. So, you know, this is just relationships. So, twin flame, love, union, togetherness, equal, effort. That's coming in for our theme this week. Thank you so much for connecting. I trust that you've connected and resonated with what I've had to say, or some of it. And have a great week. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. If you're celebrating, happy Christmas. If you're celebrating Christmas or solstice, if you're celebrating the solstice. I will see you back here on the 27th of December for the next weekly guidance. And hopefully I might pop in through the week for some support or healing. A healing video. So in the meantime, look out for posts. Please interact on posts, like, comment, share, follow, like the page, my YouTube channel if you haven't yet. And take care. Send you loads of love. Thank you so much. Namaste.